Okay, so our topic for this day is about shear stress in beam. So last meeting we have flexure no, in beams. Ngayon, panibagong equation with regards to the shear stress in beams. Now, the shear stress here is a transverse shear. Transverse. Transverse shear. Okay. So for the shear formula, I have here the derived equation for the shear formula. It is tau equal to VQ over IT. Ayan. So tau, this is the shear stress, the transverse shear stress sa beams natin. And then B is the internal shear force that is developed no, by the applied external loading sa beam natin. Then Q, ano naman yung Q? So I have here the variables. Yung Q naman, it is equal to Y bar prime times A prime, you know, where A prime is the area of the top or bottom portion of the member's cross-sectional area, no, or above or below the section plane, where T is measured and Y bar prime is the distance from the neutral axis to the center of A bar. Ayan. So, for us to know more about this Q, ayan, kailangan natin tong figure. Ayan. So, transverse shear stress, is the shear stress na developed no, by the shear force no, from the external loadings. And so, yung shear force, internal dapat yan. And we can determine the value of shear force at any point sa beam natin on its cross-section area. No? Halimbawa, we want to determine the amount of shear force or shear stress experienced here at this section, that section, ano yung effect niya. So, to determine that value of stress, you have to use this equation. Tau is equal to VQ over IT. Now, V internal shear stress yun. Yung Q, sabi, Y bar prime times A prime. Ano yung A prime? A prime, yun yung area above or below kung saan yung point na ina-analyze mo. So, ito ina-analyze natin. Asan ba yung area above or below that? So, yung area natin above is ito. Yung nasa taas. Above eh. Yung below naman, ito. So, we have here a beam na hindi defined yung kanyang cross-section for the discussion of this equation lang naman. But, the analysis for the shear transverse shear stress sa beams natin, mostly defined yung cross-section. Meron tayong rectangular, triangular, circular. So, another set of equation no, for the shear stress. But for now, describe muna natin yung general formula for the shear stress. Ayan, Q, A prime, Y bar A. Y bar prime, no? Yung A prime, area above or below. So, pwede gamitin mo itong A-prime mo sa taas, pwede rin naman din nasa baba. Kung ano yung mas madaling kunin no, when you're executing the solutions no, for a certain problem. Then, Y bar prime naman, yun daw yung distance ng centroid nung A prime na binigay mo papunta sa neutral axis. So, you have to determine where is the location of the neutral axis. Okay? You will be using the Berigdon's theorem no, to determine this neutral axis location. Then, next, I. Ano naman si I? I is the moment of inertia of the cross-sectional area about the neutral axis. And T, it is the thickness nung kung nasaan yung point na ina-analyze mo. Yeah. So, for example, you have an undefined cross-section of your beam, then you want to determine the value of shear stress at that point. So, yung thickness must be the width of that beam at that location. So, if ever you want to determine the shear stress, transverse shear stress at this point, you have to determine what would be the thickness T here. Ayan. But if alam mo yung defined yung cross-section natin, rectangular, if you want to determine the shear stress at this point, so hindi nagbabago yung thickness T natin. Yung T mo is just equal to the base. Ayan. But ang magbabago or magba-vary is the value of Q. Kasi Q, it is A times Y bar. Area or area above or below. So, depende, dapat magiging equal lang. No? Yung Q mo sa taas, no? When you're considering the area at the top or at the bottom. Ayan. So, take note that this equation of the shear formula is used only for straight prismatic members made of homogeneous materials that has linear elastic behavior. Ibig sabihin, kapag may load na in-apply doon sa beam natin, kapag tinanggal natin yung load, babalik lang siya sa dati niyang itsura kasi elastic yung beam natin. And then homogeneous, ibig sabihin, hindi nagbabago yung material's property. Also, the internal resultant shear force must be directed along an axis of symmetry for the cross-sectional area. Ayan. Then, the shear formula should not be used to determine the shear stress on cross-sections that have or that are short or flat at points of sudden cross-sectional changes or at a point of an inclined boundary. Yan. So, hindi tayo pwedeng kumuha ng value ng shear stress at the edges ng beam natin na biglang nagbabago yung kanya cross-section. O tulad nito, if you want to determine the value of shear stress at that point, mahihirapan tayo for substituting the variables for the BQ over IT. Ayan. So, pag yung cross-section din is sobrang flat, yan, hindi rin natin pwede magamit yung BQ over IT. But, there are other way to solve that kind of problems na may cross-section na short or flat and mayroong sudden cross-sectional changes. Kaso lang, hindi natin siya scope for this shear formula. Ayan, iba pa yung magiging approach natin for that. So, makikita nyo yun if you will be continuing your study for the structural engineering. Ayan, if you want to master structural engineering, yan, pwede makikita nyo yung pag-analyze ng short or flat na cross-section for the amount of transverse shear stress of beams. Ayan, and it requires kasi advanced methods based on the theory of elasticity. Ayan, so with the following notes and equation shear formula, we can now proceed on determining what would be the value of the internal shear depending on the common loadings and supports of our beam. So last meeting, I have presented yung equation for you to determine what would be the maximum shear stress of the common loadings and supports that we have. Ngayon, shear forces naman. Ayan, so if we have a simply supported beam, simply supported partner, roller, and hinge, tapos may the distance between the two supports is L, and we have a point load at the middle, at midpoint. Ayan, madalas binabanggit point load at the midpoint. Ayan. So, sa gitna ng beam natin, the value of the shear force maximum is P over 2. Ayan. So, equation na. But you can derive this equation using your shear and moment equation na tinuro natin. Then, for a simply supported beam, supporting a uniformly distributed load, W, the maximum shear would be WL over 2. Ayan. If you have simply supported beam with point loads at L over 3, distance L over 3H, the value of maximum shear would be P. Ayan. Kapag tatlo naman yung load natin located at L over 4 na distance and we have a simply supported beam, the maximum shear force is 3P over 2. Ayan. Then for a cantilever beam, and a point load is located at the free end, the maximum shear is P. Ayan. Then kapag cantilevered beam with uniformly distributed load W all throughout the beam, your maximum shear is WL. Ayan. So, ito yung mga common loadings na pwede nating makita, no, when we're analyzing the transverse shear stress in beams. Ayan. So, for the section property, recall of the value of um, moment of inertia for different cross-section. Ayan. So, for a rectangle, the moment of inertia at the neutral axis is BH cubed over 12. Ayan. Then, for the solid circle, we have pi r raised to 4 over 4. And then, for a tube, we have pi over 4 times malaking R raised to 4 minus maliit na R raised to 4. Yeah. So, yung malaking R, it is the outer radius. Then, yung maliit naman na R is for the inner radius. Then, for a triangle na cross-section for the moment of inertia, it is equal to BH cubed over 36, and the location of the neutral axis for a triangle is from the point or apex natin, it is 2/3 ng H. Ayan. So, kapag magbe-base tayo sa base, 1/3 of H. Then, if we have a composite na beams, it is recommended to use the moment of inertia by transfer formula. So, the equation would be here, yung nasa baba. So, it would be the summation of centroidal moment of inertia plus AD squared. This is the pattern for our moment of inertia. Then, for some maximum shearing stresses for defined na cross-section that may help you to solve some related problems regarding the transverse shear stress. So we have for the rectangle, the maximum shear stress is tau max equal to 3V over 2A. Ayan. And the location of this 3V over 2A is the location of the neutral axis. So, nasa gitna. Ayan, 3V over 2A, maximum. Therefore, a triangle, the maximum shearing stress is tau max 3V over 2A. Same ng equation sa rectangle. And the location of this maximum shear stress is at H over 2. Ayan. 3V over 2A. Then for a solid circle, the equation for the maximum shearing stress is 4B over 3A located at the neutral axis, yung kanyang maximum shearing stress. So, ito, nandito yung maximum shear stress, triangle nandito, and ito naman yung sa rectangle. So, these are the derived equation, no, by the mother equation natin na BQ over IB. So, ang ginawa lang dyan is sinubstitute yung value ng Q and the possible value of the moment of inertia. And then, na-simplify with the following. You just have to substitute yung value of internal shear and the cross-sectional area. If the cross-section of beams ay rectangle, triangle, and solid circle. But again, if composite beams or composite beams na halo-halo yung shapes, so mas recommended na gamitin ito equation na PQ over IP. Okay. Ayan, so with those equations, let's now move on to solving sample problems. This is our sample problem number 1. The solid shaft and tube shown in the figure are subjected to the shear force of 4 kilonewtons. Determine the shear stress acting over the diameter of each cross-section. So, we have internal shear force sa solid circle natin, circular shaft, 4 kilonewton. The radius is 50 millimeter. And for the tube naman, the outer radius is 50 millimeter, inner radius is 20 millimeter. And we also have internal shear of 4 kilonewton. Yan na rin yung magiging value na internal shear natin dahil wala namang other loads no dito sa shaft natin. So, we are required to determine the shear stress. So, shear stress, unahin natin yung sa solid shaft, that is BQ over IB, So, gawin natin, let's solve for the moment of inertia. Yeah, so, the moment of inertia of a solid shaft is pi r squared over, pi r raised to 4 over 4. R is 50. Ayan, so substituting the moment of inertia at the neutral axis is 4.909 times 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 4. Ayan, so next yung Q. Q is y bar prime A prime. So, I know we have an equation for the circle, yung pinakita ko kanina, yung shortcut. But let's try muna yung paggamit ng equation natin for the maximum shear stress, which is dq over rp. Ayan. So, next, what is y bar prime A prime? Ayan. So, ang sabi, determine the shearing stress no acting over the diameter of each cross-section. So, nasan ba yung diameter natin? Ito. So, from here to there. Ayan. Ayan, yung may diameter tayo dyan. So, dito din. Yung over the diameter. So, we're required to determine the value of shear stress along that section. Ayan. So, di ba Q is equal to y bar prime A prime. Now, A prime, it is your area above or below doon sa point na in-analyze mo. So, nag-analyze tayo sa diameter. Mismo. So, pwede natin kunin yung taas or pwede rin yung baba. Ayan. So, ang kunin na lang natin is yung nasa taas. Ano ba yung area natin sa taas? Kalahati ng circle. Tapos, ano yung location ng centroid netong half circle papunta sa neutral axis. So, the neutral axis of a circular na shaft is located at the center mismo. Magpapass to sa center. So, the location of y bar prime is this one. Ano kaya yung equation yan? Yan. So, that is 4/3 pi r. R pi pala. 4/3 r pi. Ayan. 4/3 r pi. Then, yeah, let's substitute. We have 4/3 r over pi. R natin is 50 millimeter. And for the area is half circle. Yun ay pi r squared over 2. Kasi pi r squared po. Okay. So, divide natin sa 2. So, what would be the Q? Q is 83.333 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter raised to 3. Ayan, so, meron kang shear force na 4 kilonewton, may Q ka na, may I. Ano yung B? Yung B is yung width kung ano yung point na ina-analyze mo. Ito sinabi naman diameter. So, your B is equal to the diameter. So, isa-substitute lang natin yung mga yun sa equation natin for the shear stress. So, it is a maximum shear stress. We have VQ over IT. V is 4 kilonewton converted to Newton by multiplying 1,000. Q is 83.333 times 10 raised to 3. I 4.909 times 10 raised to 6. For the thickness, what would be the thickness? Thickness T natin. IB or IT. Ayan. Thickness is 250 yung diameter. Ayan. So, simplifying, the shear stress for a solid shaft is 0.679 megapascal. Ayan. So, you just have to determine ano yung point ng kukunan mo na value of the transfer shear stress, and then substitute lang yung given for the V, Q, I, and the thickness T or the base. Yan. Then next, yung dito naman tayo sa paggamit ng shortcut. Ayan, yung kukunin mo lang yung internal shear and your area. So, define ito. Pwede mo itong gamitin for your solution. If you don't want to determine the moment of inertia and the value of Q. Ayan, shortcut ito. Pampadali ng buhay. Ayan. So, if you will use that equation for B over 3A, again, gagamitin mo lang to if ang ina-analyze is yung sa location mismo ng neutral axis natin. Kasi doon maximum yung shearing stress natin. Now, if other points, hindi mo yan pwede mo gamitin. No, other point dito sa natin, sa beam. Halimbawa, what would be the value of shear stress here? So, iba na. Hindi yan pwede. Kasi ito yung equation natin for the maximum. So, mamanu-manuhin mo yun. Kukunin mo yung moment of inertia and the moment of inertia is for the full. So, ang magbabago lang is yung Q pala. Ayan. Okay. So, lagay natin yung value of internal shear, which is 4 kilonewton, converted to Newton by multiplying 1,000. And for the area ng cross-section na buo. So, that is pi r squared. Ayan. So, simplifying, the maximum shear stress is just equal to 0.679 megapascal. Now, this derivative equation makes our life easier. But this equation, again, it has its limitation. It only works for a solid shaft and for the maximum value lang siya ng shear stress. If any point of your cross-section yung pinapakuha for the transverse shear stress, hindi siya pwedeng gamitin. And also, hindi mo to pwedeng gamitin for the analysis ng tube. Like, di ba ma'am, naalala ko, gumamit tayo, or nag-discuss tayo last SEM about the statics, di ba? Yung, if inertia involved dito, we can use yung addition and subtraction ng mga moment of inertia. Basta, naglalay lang sila sa iisang point or nagmimit sila sa neutral axis para hindi ka na mag-transfer formula. Ayan. So, that method here, kung gagamitin mo yung by sa shear stress, halimbawa, malaking bilog kunin mo yung maximum doon minus yung maliit na bilog kunin mo yung maximum shear stress. Hindi yun pwedeng gamitin, for the tube. So, ang gagawin sa tube, mamanu-manuhin using the VQ over IB or IT. Ayan. So, some books, ang equation for the shear stress, VQ over IB. Iba naman, VQ over IT. Ayan. So, sige, let's solve na the value of shear stress acting over the diameter of this tube. Ang equation natin is BQ over IB. Ayan. So, or IT. Kunin natin yung section properties, the moment of inertia and the value of Q. Ayan. So, for the moment of inertia, ito yun. We have that equation, pi over 4. Outer radius raised to 4 minus the inner radius raised to 4. So, gamitin natin, substituting, the moment of inertia of the tube is 4.78 p times 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 8. And then for the value of Q is equal to the summation of y bar prime, a prime. Now, Q, mamanu-manuhin natin pagkuha sa value of Q, we will be summing up, kasi meron tayo ditong butas na cross-section. Halimbawa, we're determining the value of the shear stress at the diameter. So, alam naman natin na butas or hollow yung tube natin. So, wala tayong value ng shear stress at this section. So, meaning, ang may shear stress lang is ito. Ayan. So, for the value of Q, kailangan yung solid shaft o yung shaft mo lang mismo yung kukunin mo for the area, hindi yung butas. Kasi wala naman siyang niraranasan na any stress. Ayan. So, this would be your area prime. Pwede rin yung baba, based sa analysis mo kung ano yung madali. So, gamitin na lang natin yung nasa taas. That would be our A prime. And then for y bar prime, so ano yung, paano kaya natin siya isolve? Ayan, so kapag ganito, inanalyze mo siya as half disk, it would be hard for you to determine the location of the centroid, papunta sa neutral axis. O pwede natin gamitin dito yung, yung subtract ng malaki, tapos minus yung maliit. Ayan. Para define yung location. So, you will be analyzing it as a whole, tapos subtract mo na lang yung butas. Para sa so, alam naman natin yung location nung centroid ng malaking bilog, that is 4r, ay malaking half circle, no? That is 4r over 3 pi. Ayan. Then, the area is pi r squared over 2. Then, so subtract lang natin itong portion na butas. Ayan, ito. Tanggalin lang natin to. So, minus yung y bar prime, it is 4r over 3 pi. No, multiply to the area na maliit. Ayan. So, let's substitute the given values. So, we have 4 times 50 over 3 pi times 50 squared over 2 minus 4r, maliit, 20, over 3 pi times pi times 20 squared over 2. Now, the value of Q is 78 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter raised to 3. Ayan. So, for the value of Q, again, you can analyze yung top, pwede rin yung baba. Take note lang, kailangan equal sila. Ayan. So, kailangan pareho sila ng value. Okay. Then, for the value of shear stress, so makukuha natin yung by the equation na BQ over IT. Your V is 4 kilonewton. Multiply by 1,000 para maging Newton. Q natin is 78 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter raised to 3. I, yun nakuha natin. And then, what would be the value of the thickness T? No? So, yung thickness T natin, syempre, yung dapat yung nakaka-experience lang yung shear stress. So, hindi natin i-include yung butas dito. So, ang thickness lang natin dyan is this one and yung kabila. Ayan. So, paano natin yan kukunin? Pwede, marami tayong ways para makuha yan. You can determine the total na diameter ng malaki, then subtract mo yung total diameter na maliit. No? So, 100 minus 40. Yan lang. Ayan. So, and then simplifying your maximum shear stress is 1.087 megapascal. Ayan. So, if iniisip niyo bakit hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung 4B over 3A, no, for the maximum shear stress ng, yung parang, you will be relating yung malaking maximum shear stress pagkabuo siya, tapos subtract mo ng butas. So, hindi ito po pwede guys because the value of Q is varying yung sa area natin. So, kapag sinubstitute mo, hindi yun magiging equal. Yung pag ginawa mo 4B minus area na malaki minus 4B over 3 area na maliit. Magkaiba. No, dahil sa Q. Sa Q, it is your area above or below doon sa point na ina-analyze mo. No, multiply to its centroid or location ng centroid papuntang neutral axis. So, walang gagamit nito yung modification na malaki minus maliit for the shear stress na formula. Pero sa inertia at saka sa Q, pwede. Kasi cross-section naman yung ina-analyze natin doon eh. Pero for the shear stresses, hindi pwede. Okay? So that is our first problem for the application and transfer shear stress. So let's have another sample problem wherein meron tayong complex na beam or complex loading sa simply supported beam. Ayan. So this is again an example sa shear and moment diagram natin. So, ano ba ang tinatanong dyan? We have a beam na 150 mm wide by 250 mm deep that supports the loads shown in the figure, and then determine the maximum shear stress ng beam. So, given yung cross-sectional area of the beam or the dimensions, given yung loadings, ang tinatanong is the maximum shear stress. O kung maximum shear stress, our equation is tau max equal to BQ over IT or IB. Ayan. So, yung equation natin. And so if we are analyzing a rectangular na beam, kasi rectangular, binanggit ano eh, we have a beam na 150 millimeter wide, and then yung depth naman ay 250 millimeters, or rectangular. If rectangular, we know that the location of the maximum shear stress is located at the neutral axis or at the center. Ayan. Pero guys, yung value of the maximum shear stress kapag hindi defined yung cross-section, hindi lagi yun na nasa neutral axis. Ayan. So, there are other method pa to determine what would be the value of the maximum shearing stresses kapag ganon. Kapag hindi pag hindi composite no yung beams natin. Yan. Pero pag ganito, defined um, yung cross-section, meron tayo rectangular, triangular, or circular. So, alam natin kung nasan yung mga location nila. Pero pag, halimbawa, I-beam na, ayan. So, it would be hard for us to determine the maximum shear stress ng mga ganitong shape. So, ang nangyayari sa mga problems natin, may certain point na lang na hinahanap din what would be the value of shear stress at that point. Ayan. Or at this point, or any. Ayan. So, mahirap hanapin actually yung value of maximum shearing stress sa mga beams na complex or composite. Ayan. So, sa mga simpler, ito, alam natin yung location nila. Again, let's solve for the maximum shearing stress ng rectangular beam. Kailangan din natin mahanap yung maximum, syempre, kung maximum shear stress yung hanap, kailangan maximum na shear internal yung substitute mo dito. The value of Q, the inertia, and the thickness. So, pag maximum shearing stress, maximum shear, we are required to draw the shear and moment diagram for this beam. Ayan. To determine the maximum shears. Maximum shear, based on the shear diagram, it is 34.25 kilonewton. Regardless of the sign kasi we're dealing with the value of the shear stress naman. Ayan. So, 34.25 kilonewtons. Mabilis lang kasi nasolve na natin to last meeting. Pero kung bago pa yung beam na yan, you are required to determine what would be the value of maximum shear stress. Mag-shear moment in beams ka kapag complex yung iyong loadings. Pero kapag simpler lang, katulad ng binigay ko kanina, mga common loadings, so hindi mo naman na required na ipakita yung shear diagram pagdating dito. Sa application natin ng stresses in beams. Ayan. So, we will be proceeding on the determining the maximum shear stress. We have a derived equation for this equation. Yan ay 3V over 2A. So, required lang tayo hanapin sa maximum shear and yung area. Yan. So, substituting, we have 3 times 34.25 times 10 raised to 3 over 2 times area na 150 times 250. By the way, this is in Newton. Yeah. Kasi nag-multiply tayo ng 1,000. So, solving for the maximum shear stress, it is equal to 1.37 megapascal. So, ayan. Ganun ulit yung pattern niya. When you're solving the shearing stress sa beams natin, since kailangan mo ng moment of inertia and Q, if may dalawang type lang yan lagi. Minsan papahirapan ka sa pagkuha ng Q para makuha mo yung maximum shear stress, o kaya naman papahirapan ka sa pagkuha ng shear stress, shear force. Ayan. Tapos madali yung sa section properties na I and Q. Ganun lang siya, paulit-ulit lang. Na cycle na mga problems, no? Ayan, so ito naman, let's have this another sample for determining the shear stress. We have a T-beam. Yan. Ang T-beam, letter T, yung itsura niya. It is made up of two boards subjected to value of shear na 19.5 kilonewton. Determine the maximum shear stress in the glue necessary to hold the boards together along the seam where they are joined. Ayan. So, sinasabi dito, what is the maximum shear stress at the glue? Saan ba yung pwedeng location ng glue, ano? Wala namang binanggit. Pero alam mo, na yung T-beam natin, made up of two boards yan. O, saan kaya yung location para mag-connect silang dalawa? So, ito. Ayan. So, nandito yung glued na part. So, ano na yung maximum shearing stress at that point? Ayan. So, with that question, syempre, ang gagamitin natin equation is the VQ over I. For the value of shear stress, yun tayo shear force, alam na natin, ayun, 19.5 kilonewton. Ang kailangan na lang natin malaman is yung section properties, the moment of inertia, and the value of Q, yung AY. Yung thickness T, kung saan lang in contact yung dalawang bagay na yun. So, this would be your T, thickness T. Ano na yung value ng shear stress dyan? Okay. So, ayan, again, the maximum shear is 19.5. For the section property, kailangan natin kunin yung I. No? Pero para makuha si I, kailangan muna natin malaman kung nasaan yung location ng moment of, ng neutral axis. Ayan, para makapag-transfer tayo ng inertia. So, asan kaya yung possible location ng NA? So, ito. In-assume na nandito, ano yung distance niya na y bar na with respect to the axis sa baba at the bottom. So, this would be your equation by Rignon's theorem na area total times y bar is equal to the summation of AY. And so, dito, meron na tayong dalawang area na i-consider, yung nasa taas at yung nasa baba. So, we have A1 na yung sa taas, then A2 naman yung nasa baba. So, for A1, kunin natin yung area. We have 150 times 30 or 4,500. Ang A2 naman, given yung dimension, we have 30 times 150 na base times height. This is also equal to 4,500. Ayan. So, meron na tayong value ng A1 at A2. Y1 na lang. Tsaka Y2. Tsaka yung area total pala, pwede natin i-sum up to 9,000. For the Y1, yung Y1 and Y2 natin, yan yung distance, no? From the centroid ng area papunta doon sa reference axis. So, naka-refer tayo sa baba. Dito na lang sa baba. Ayan. So, what would be the value of Y1? Y1 is 150, no? Plus 15 lang. Value niya. 150 plus 150 plus 15, that is 165. Then for the Y2, so titingin ka sa area 2, asan yung centroid niyan, ano yung distance papunta sa reference axis, that is just 150 over 2 or 75 millimeter. Okay. Area total A1, A2, Y1, Y2 na tayo. So let's just substitute and solve for Y bar. The location of the neutral axis from the bottom reference axis is 120 megapascal. So, kunin din natin yung nasa top. That would be 150 plus 30 minus 120. So, we have 60 millimeter. So, from the top fiber ng beam natin. So, after determining the location of the neutral axis, we can now use the transfer formula. So, magka-transfer formula tayo dahil yung location of the centroid ng area 1 and area 2 natin is hindi nag-meet doon sa location ng neutral axis. Yan. So, we'll have summation of the centroidal moment of inertia plus AD squared. Ayan. So, kunin natin yung centroidal moment of inertia sa area 1. Tapos, yung sa area 2 naman. So, for the centroidal moment of inertia, that is BH cubed over 12. Your B is 150. H is 30 cubed over 12. Simplified, we have 337,500 millimeter raised to 4. For IG2, we have 30 no, times 150 cube over 12 or 800 or 8,437,500 millimeter raised to 4. Ayan. So, with that, we can now substitute the value of IG1, A1, and then yung D, it is the location or distance from the centroid papunta ng object or area papunta sa neutral axis. So, substitute, we have 337,500 plus A1, 4,500. Ano yung D natin? Yung D, it can be yung Y1 mo minus the location of or minus Y bar both. Ayan. So, 165 minus 120 square. Then, plus IG2 plus area 2 na 4,500 multiply to D. Yung D natin, it could be Y bar minus Y2. Ayan, squared. Huwag kakalimutan yung squared. So, simplifying, we have this value of the moment of inertia. 27 million raised to, millimeter raised to 4. So, meron na tayong V, I, Q na lang. So, ang Q is Y bar prime, A prime. So, sabi, it can be the area above or below doon sa point na ina-analyze. Saan nga ulit yung point na ina-analyze natin? Ito, kung saan magkadugtong yung two boards, kung saan may glue. So, pwede natin consider yung area above or area below. Yeah, basta, kailangan pareho tayo ng resulting value of Q. So, let's try yung above. So, the area above is 4,500 and its centroid location papuntang neutral axis is just so 60 to 60 yan from the top minus lang 15. So we have Y bar prime na 60 minus 15 multiplied to 4,500 or it is just equal to 202,500. Again, same yan if you will be considering yung nasa baba na area 2. Dapat pareho lang. Ano yung Y bar prime natin? So, location ng centroid papunta sa neutral axis. Anong distance yan? O, alam mo to, 120. No, tapos minus Y. 120 minus Y2 na 75. Ano yung area 2 natin? Area 2 is 4,500. And the resulting Q is just this. So, pan-check nyo to guys if you're having doubts for the value of Q. So, BQ over IT natin. Kailangan yung taas at baba safe. And I suggest if yung, halimbawa, halimbawa, I-beam ito. I-beam. Yan. So, kung I-beam yan, tapos meron kang i-consider area baba or area sa taas na analyze mo, ito pa rin point na yan. You have to consider pa itong part na yon. Yan. So, ito yung total area mo sa baba. Tapos, i-transfer mo pupunta dito. Q. So, there are some problems that require use of techniques na dapat na pag nakita mo, alam mo kung saan ka madadalian sa pagkuha ng Q. So, kapag ganun, I-beam, siyempre, ang i-consider mo na lang, yung may maliit na area, yung isa lang, yung kukunin mo, yung nasa taas. Kasi kapag nagbaba ka, kukunin mo pa yung area sa baba, tapos aalamin mo pa yung Y bar prime nun. Diba? So, dalawa. Mas maikli yung magiging solution. If nakita, ay, pwede pala ito na lang. Yung sa value ng Q, yung nasa taas. Above the point. Pero, dapat magsasame lang sila ng value. You have to take note of that. Okay, so with that, may, ano yung T? Yung T is, ito yung kung saan lang yung connection nila, and that is 30 millimeter. So, sige, let's solve na yung shear stress. We have 19.5 times 10 raised to 3. Q is 202,500. And then I, 27 million. T is 30 millimeter. Kung saan lang sila in contact. So, solving for the shear stress maximum at the glue, no, in the glue, it is equal to 4,800, 4.875 megapascal. Megapascal kasi Newton. Ito, kasi ito millimeter raised to 3. Kasi nasa baba, millimeter raised to 5. Ayan. So, cancel itong millimeter raised to 3. Tapos ito magiging 2. So, Newton per square millimeter or megapascal. Yeah. So, those are the sample, no, for sample problem for the shearing stress, transverse shear stress. I have here some sample problems that you can solve when on your free time. Ayan, so here you have a wide plunge beam. Ayan, so wide plunge beam is also known as the I-beam. So letter I. Ayan, so bakit ba tinatawag na wide plunge? Itong I-beam natin. It is basically based on the properties nitong beam na to. Ayan. Minsan kasi, mas mahaba, ay diba? Itong I-beam, it has its parts. Yan, para makarelate kayo. Yan. May part yan. Yan, tatlo. Itong isa, nasa taas, na horizontal, tsaka nasa baba. We call it flanges. Flanges. Horizontal. And then, ito namang nasa gitna na nakatayo. Vertically. It is called the web. May flanges and web para sa I-beam natin or wide plunge beam. At tinatawag na wide plunge beam kapag it has some properties in real life na yung flange natin is mas malaki yung dimension niya kaysa sa web. Ayan. Tapos meron din kasi tayong tinatawag na H section beam. Ayan. So, kapag H section beam, equal yung thickness ng flanges natin and webs. Unlike sa wide plunge, kasi yung wide plunge, madalas mas makapal yung thickness ng flanges kaysa sa web. So, there are other characteristics pa na to that will be discussed in your steel design. There, you will be determining the value of the stresses that can be carried by your steels when applied in construction. So, syempre, application pa rin din yun ng strema natin. Ayan. Pero, it has, kapag mag-steel design na kayo, meron na kayong rules na ipa-follow or meron ng yung batas, kumbaga, for the design. And that would be LRFD design. So, meron kasi tayong yung tawag na allowable stress design method for the design of materials natin. And then we also have the ultimate strength design. So, kapag allowable na stresses, pinapaliit natin yung value ng stress na nasa material, tapos yung gagamitin natin value ng stress to design the dimensions. Kapag ultimate strength naman na design, so you will utilize the ultimate stress, yung maximum, kung hanggang saan siya bago mag-break. Diba? Alam natin yung ultimate strength. Tapos saka tayo magde-design ng ng mga structural members. Now, the two method for your design is very different to each other. LRFD is under the ultimate stress design. LRFD. And that is being utilized nowadays. Nung BS degree, we're just using the allowable stress design ASD. And it's simpler than the LRFD because LRFD may mga kailangan tayong i-follow the rules or guidelines. No? May part na National Structural Code of the Philippines that you have to remember when you want to be a structural engineer. Ayan. And that code is fixed in every country. Halimbawa sa Pilipinas, yun yung sinusunod natin. National Structural Code of the Philippines. But if mag-work kayo abroad, so iba na naman yung code na yun. Tapos aaralin nyo siya. Required. Kailangan maging align yung design mo with the code. Hindi pwedeng contradicting silang dalawa. Ayan. So, ayan, for practice, naisingit ko lang naman. Since magta-third year na kayo. And then, also, this is an sample problem that you can practice at home. Since you're always at home. Ayan. Determine the maximum shear force that can be applied in that cross-section. But the solution of this problem is also it can be seen dun sa module natin. I'll just upload it sa Canvas. Ayan. Therefore, the last part of the shear stress on beams natin, we have the shear flow in built-up members. Built-up members are the beams that is made up of different na materials, composite na parts, yung pinagdudugtong-dugtong. It may be combined by fasteners such as nails, bolts, or by welding or glue. And kapag connected tayo ng gano'n yung members natin or bumubuo tayo ng beam made up of different na materials, we have to determine yung kung gaano ba kalakas yung connection nila, yung glue. Ano yung shearing stress ng glue natin? Yung nails ba, ilang pirasong pako yung kailangan natin para pagdikitin yung 4 na planks ng wood for our design. Ayan. So, yun naman yung magiging next topic natin for the day. So, this is an example of a built-up member. It can be in wood or pwede rin naman sa steels. So, kapag steels yung pinagkoconnect natin, we usually use bolts and nuts. Ayan. And the number of bolts and nuts are kailangan alam natin kung paano siya kukunin. No? And also, yung number of nails para magtugtong-dugtong itong members natin. Ilang nails ba yung kailangan? Ano yung certain na spaces? So, why do we use different fasteners and nails? No? Para pag-combine yung initially magkakahiwalay na material. So, this is because of this analysis. Kapag meron tayong beam, bawa ginamit mo sa beam na magkakahiwalay na planks sa bahay ngayon. Ginamit mo siya as a beam. Now, nag-apply tayo ng point load or tumayo ka doon sa may gilid ng beam mo. Ano yung tendency na mangyayaring deformation sa beam? So, the planks here will not act as one. So, maghihiwa-hiwalay yan. So, halimbawa kung mabigat ka, so, dadating yung time na yung ibang planks dito ay tatalsik nilang bigla. Kasi they don't act as one, magkakahiwalay. So, iba yung deformation nasa top, iba yung nasa middle, iba rin yung nasa baba. So, syempre, mas stress yung baba. Siya yung mas nakakaranas ng stress niya. Unlike kapag we have a uniform na connection between the planks. Diba, nagigulo na yan or they are nailed to each other. So, kapag may load tayo na inilagay, hindi lang basta-basta tatalsik na yung members natin. They will act as one. So, kung ano yung bending natin, yung amount of stress, it is well distributed doon sa cross-section. Okay? So, in order to design the fasteners, or to determine their spacing, it is necessary to know the shear force that must be resisted by the fasteners. And this loading, when measured as a force per unit length of a beam, is referred as to be the shear flow Q. Yeah. So the shear flow Q for the built-up members, it is VQ over I. So shear flow is equal to VQ over I. Yan. So ito daw yung gagamitin natin to determine yung or to design yung pang mga fasteners natin for the built-up members. Yan. Where Q is the shear flow, B is the internal resultant shear force, I is the moment of inertia, and then Q, it is your Y bar prime times A prime. And then the shear flow has its relationship with the spacing. So we can determine the spacing of these nails or fasteners. So wherein the shear flow is just equal to the resisting shear force R of the fastener divided to the number of spacings or divided by the spacing S. So we have S, this is just equal to RR over BQ. Kasi sabi, Q, shear flow natin is just equal then to the RS. Ay, divided pala, R over S. Ayan, R over S. Pwede mong palitan yung Q dito ng R over S and then solve for the spacing. Ayan, so we will be deriving this equation na S is equal to RI over BQ. So, yung spacing pala ng mga pako natin, hindi lang yan dapat na hinuhulaan if we're doing carpentry works. So, dapat sinosolve natin siya ng RI over BQ. So, if magkukumpuni kayo ng upuan, upuan ninyo, so you have to solve the exact spacing of the nails para you make sure na the connection is stiff and strong. And RI over BQ. Tapos, you have to determine din yung what will be the maximum value of shear force yung pwede niya i-carry yung mga chair. So that is the application of this of this discussion. RI over BQ. Then kapag total tayo dito malapit tag-ulan na pwede rin kasi yung application to yung equation ng RI over BQ. Yung kapag sige, and then, when you're doing construction sa bahay ninyo, yung nag-ayos kayo ng beams, tapos made up of wood. Ayan, so, kailangan may enough spacing. Yung mga nails natin, para hindi sila mag-deflect ng isa-isa or hindi siya masira agad. Ayan, RI over PQ lang. Okay, so let's try solving some problems related to the shear flow in built-up members. We have nails having a total shear strength of 40 pounds are used in a beam that can be constructed as shown in the figure. If the nails are spaced at 9 inch, determine the largest shear that can be supported so that the fasteners will not fail. Ayan. So we have three planks na ginamit for a beam sa construction. Given yung dimensions, 0.5. Ito is 3 inch. Then here we have 4 inch by 1 inch. So the neutral axis is located centered dahil proportion naman or symmetrical yung top and bottom na flanges natin dito. So the spacing of the nails are given, it is said to be 9 inch. So 9 inch yung layo nila. Ayan. So ang hinahanap is yung largest value of your shear para hindi mag-fail yung connection natin dyan. So we can use, since may S, no, we can use the equation na S is equal to Ri over VQ. Ayan. So, yung R dyan is the total strength of the fasteners or nails and so R. Yun yung reaction nila or yun yung binibigay nila na strength. Baga, innate na sa material na yon. Ayan. So, sabi dito, nails having a total strength of 40 pounds. So, yun yung R po. Ayan. I is the moment of inertia. So, the moment of inertia in this beam is not yet determined. So, we are required to know the value of moment of inertia there. The internal shear, yan yung unknown sa atin. Then, Q, kaya natin kunin. S is 9. Sige. Let's solve for the section properties, the I and Q. Okay. We have here an I-beam. Okay. So, meron tayong mga techniques dito, di ba? Pwede kang mag-analyze ng malaking rectangle, then subtract mo tong dalawang butas. Kasi, nag-lie naman yung neutral, yung centroid nila, so neutral axis, so that hindi mo na kailangan mag-transfer formula. So, ganun yung ginawa ko dito. So, kinuha ko yung malaking rectangle. Ayan. So, the moment of inertia of that is 3, the base, times height. So, what would be the height? Yung total dapat, no? 4 inch plus 0.5 plus 0.5, that is 5, raised to 3, over 12. And then, subtract yung moment of inertia netong butas na portion. Dalawa. Ayan. So, the centroid also passed through with the neutral axis. So, hindi natin, again, kailangan mag-transfer formula. Ayan. So, ano yung inertia niyan? It is BH cube over 12 pa rin. Ang B natin, ito, ano yan? Base. So, given ito, di ba yung total? 3 inch. Tapos, ito ay 1 inch lang. So, may 2 inch na tira. So, divide by 2. 1 lang. So, 1 multiply to H, 4 raised to 3 over 12. Ayan. So, solving the moment of inertia at the neutral axis, it is 20.583 inches raised to 4. Ayan. Sunod, yung Q. What would be the value of Q? And ano yung i-analyze natin na point? So, ang i-analyze natin, syempre, yung may connection. So, nasaan ba yung connection ng ano natin? Nails. So, it is located here. Ayan. So, kunin natin yung Q. No? So, pwede kang mag-analyze ng taas or yung baba. So, analyze na lang natin tong taas. So, we have 2 minus 0.25. Actually, meron tong ano. Dapat ito ay 2.5. Ayan. That is 2.5 minus 0.5. May kulang to eh. Bakit 2.5 minus 0.25? Ayan. Ito yun. Total no, minus yung ito, yung location ng centroid nung top portion ng beam natin. So, that is 0.25. Medyo maliit. Wait lang. So, yung total nito is 2 plus 0.5 na 2.5. Tapos, sulat ko ito. 0.25 inch. Ayan. So, diba, yung Q natin, y bar prime, a prime. Yung y bar prime, distance ng centroid papunta sa neutral axis, that is 2.5 minus 0.25. And then for a prime, what would be your a prime? Yung area mo sa taas, that is 3 inch multiplied to 0.5. So, it is equal to 3.375 inches raised to 3. Ayan. So, now we have I and Q. We can now proceed on determining the largest shear force, Ri over PQ, given yung equation natin for the spacing. S is 9 inch. R is 40 pound. Then, I naman ay nakuha natin 20.583. B, hinahanap Q, 3.375 inch raised to 3. Yan. So, for the shear force, it is equal to 27.106 pound. Yan. Yung answer natin for this sample problem. Ayan. So, mag-isa lang. So, ganun din naman, no? Kapag ang inanalyze mo is yung baba na to. Ayan. Kinuha mo yung, dito, yung Q niya. Kasi same naman. Ayan. So, ito, kapag isa lang, no? Isa lang yung column natin kung saan meron tayong nails. Ayan. So, yung susunod is for 2. 2 columns tayo. Meron tayo dito nails, then dun sa kabila. So, ano naman yung hinahanap sa problem na to? The beam is constructed from 2 boards fastened together at the top and bottom, no? With 2 rows of nails spaced every 6 inch, as shown in the figure. So, if each nail can support a 500-pound shear force, ayan, now determine the maximum shear force P that can be applied to the beam. Ayan. So, binigyan tayo ng resisting na force ng nails natin each. So, itong nail na to, kaya niyang mag-carry ng 500 pound na shear force. Ito din, 500 pound. Yan, and so on. Yung kanina, ang binigay sa atin is the total na shear strength ng nails mo mismo. Ayan, so total na nila. Ayan. Ito, isa-isa. So, paano kaya yung magiging approach natin? Not to determine the maximum shear force P of this beam. Sige. Ganun pa rin. Ang equation natin is, na gagamitan is Ri over BQ equal to S. May S tayo, spacing 6 inch. Meron kang R, then I naman, wala pa. Pero kaya natin kunin yan, and also yung Q. Sige. Kunin natin yung I. We will be determining the moment of inertia ng whole cross-section. Ayan. So, meron tayong 2 planks na pinagdidikit ng nails. Ayan. So, BH cube over 12 lang kasi meron lang naman tayo dyang rectangle. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-transfer of inertia dyan dahil pwede mo naman siyang gawin na as a whole na buo. Ayan. So, we have 6 na base, 6 yung height, 4 raised to 3 over 12. That is the total inertia. Equal to 32 inch raised to 4. Then, sunod naman natin is the value of Q. Ano yung Q natin na malaki? That is Y bar prime, A prime. So, asan ba dito yung makakaranas na shearing? Dito, yung location kung saan yung may pinagdugtong ka lang. Dito. Ayan. So, you can analyze the top or bottom part of that section. So, kung gawin na lang natin, pareho naman yung nasa taas at baba. So, yung taas na lang, so, we have ang Y bar natin is Y bar prime, location ng centroid papunta sa neutral axis. Now, we know that the neutral axis of this rectangular section is located sa gitna lang. So, gitna na itong centroid ng nasa top na plank is located 1 inch na papunta sa neutral axis. For the area prime, that is 2 inch multiplied to 6. Ayan, or 12 inch raised to 3. So, for the spacing, ayan, spacing natin, we have 6 inch. No? 6 inch. And then, equal to R. Ayan. Again, yung R, ang binigay is inch. Okay, nakita natin 2 rows eh. So, we have to multiply yung R natin or yung 500 pound sa 2. Ayan, kasi dalawang row. Ngayon, kapag tatlo, you have to multiply by 3. Ayan. So, kapag hindi total yung binigay. Ayan. Pero kung total na, halimbawa, binigay, if the total force that can be carried by the nails are 1,000 pounds, hindi mo na kailangan yan i-divide kasi total na. Ayan. So, you have 2 times 500. Yun yung amount of shear force kasi na kumbaga yun yung magbibigay ng contradiction for the value of shear para maging in equilibrium yung system natin. Ayan, kasi may shear stress to na ibibigay, may shear stress din ito. So, kukontrahin nila yung shear stress na hinahanap, shear force na hinahanap na ito. Ayan. So, you have to multiply it by 2. Kasi each lang eh. So, kapag nilagay mo dyan, 500. So, yung shear force na makukuha mo is para lang sa isa. And hindi mo na consider tong other nail. Then I and Q, substitute solving for the V. V is just equal to 444.444 pounds. That is our answer for this sample problem. Ayan. And that's all for the shear stress in beams. Ayan. So, do you have any question, guys, about our discussion?
Not yet po, ma'am. Wala po.
Wala po, ma'am.
So, yan. Yan ang shear stress natin.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
verify ko yung po ulit. When po yung quiz po, saka po yung finals po.
Quiz natin would be next week. Time na lang natin. August 2.
Agosto po.
August 2, yung quiz, and then yung finals natin, it is scheduled sa buong second year. So, probably, yon August 12, 2 p.m. sabay-sabay na second year. Yung katulad lang ng sa midterm natin, sabay-sabay yung lahat ng second year.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Sige, question pa? No. Wala na tayong time. Wala na tayong time. So, ang mangyayari na ito sa combined stresses natin, bigyan ko na lang ng introduction, then tuloy na lang next meeting after your quiz. So, hindi kasama yung combined stresses sa quiz natin. Stresses in beams lang, flexural stress and the transfer shear stress. Walang combined stresses kasi hindi natin siyang finish today. Ayan. So, for quick discussion about the combined stresses para pagdating sa next week, alam niyo na yung magiging flow natin. So, here, we'll just be combining all the stresses from the topic itself. So, yung lahat ng stresses that we had discussed, the actual loading stress, torsional loading stress, and the flexural, and also the thin-wall pressure in vessels, stresses natin dyan will all be combined in a single na problem. So, here, you should have to take note of kailan nagkakaroon ng normal na stress, kailan meron tayong torsional loading, kailan merong flexural na stress, and kailan nagkakaroon ng thin wall na stresses, yung tangential tsaka longitudinal. So that for the application of the problem, since pinagkakombine na lang natin yan, we'll just use the principle of superposition. Yeah. So the principle of superposition, this is not new to everyone because we had this in our strain analysis. No? It has something to do with the application of the loading and how you will be determining the value of stresses or the value of the displacements. So the principle can be used to determine the total stress that acts on a certain object. Like for the following examples that will be discussed next meeting. Ayan. So, like here or on this problem, you have a column and then the load is located at some point sa column natin and we want to determine what would be the total stress located at this location, at this dito, section BC. Ayan, or at point B at point C. Ayan. So we will go deep no doon sa mga materials natin. Ayan. So hindi na siya isa-isa. Ayan. So dito walang clue na ay may mag-a-act dyan na normal force sa point B, ay may moment, ay may torsion. Hindi. Kailangan you have mastered all of these stresses, no? Na-master niyo lahat ng stresses, no? For you to cope, no? For the combined stresses. Yun lang. So, thank you guys for attending our synchronous session. Next meeting, we have quiz for bending and shear stress. And also a short discussion about the combined stresses. So, hindi pa pala ito yung last meeting natin. May meeting pa next week. So, bye guys!
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.